So, hi Celia.
Hello.
Let's just start off with that. How are
Yeah,
you?
I'm great. I'm great. How are you?
Well, thank you. I just want to start off by saying thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, honestly, to do this like little chit chat with me. I
Oh,
don't
of
want to say it as an
course.
interview because we don't want it to sound too formal.
Right.
Yeah. Shall we just start off by just tell us a little bit about yourself? Who is Celia? And am I saying your
Okay.
name correctly? Sorry.
Yeah, Celia, it's chill. Cool. Yes, I'm a filmmaker. I'm a documentary director. My background is more like I started off studying psychology and I was working in research, but I just wanted to do something that was more creatively stimulating. So
Oh,
I
I don't know
just,
this psychology.
yeah, I was working in psychiatric research, like schizophrenia research for like a very short time. But yeah, I was just like, I need to be out talking to people and doing a lot more. Yeah, just finding something that was more creative. So I just decided to go into film and I was just super inspired to make films for sure in Africa and also just with a woman perspective and a woman focus. So that's pretty much my whole influence and ethos for cinema.
Okay, so did you have to go to like to school to do filmmaking, or was that like something you just picked up through like experience?
Yeah, I did not go to film school. I actually did an internship in
Okay.
documentary cinema, and that's where I met the person who became my DP, who also then became my husband.
Oh,
Um, and a few other friends who really helped me to get things started. Because, yeah, so my husband, he studied film, so he had a lot of technical experience. He's a great cinematographer. So basically, at the internship, I was like, I want to make a movie. I'm just a girl with a dream. So, will you help me? And he said yes. And
oh,
so then he basically taught me how to use a camera, how to just record audio, do basic cinema techniques. I also learned a lot of that at the internship. But yeah, I pretty much just learned on the go.
has that been something that's like that you wanted to do since like childhood maybe, or is it something that you grew into liking like as you got older?
I always liked film. I always would write plays and make my friends act in them. And I would write scripts and force my little sister to be my actress in my little short films. I made one about her guinea pig turning into a zombie, and that was like my masterpiece.
So it's
So
been a talent from a young age.
yeah. I was a child prodigy.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's really nice. I actually thought you went to like film school and it's something that you did like as because obviously when I watched the film it was so like professional and like
oh
I said in like on the day that we met like it felt so wholesome and real and I genuinely thought you did filmmaking as that was
oh,
your whole career.
that's a huge compliment. Thank you.
And we were speaking and you telling me that you're actually from Algeria.
Yes.
Yeah. So how did you study in the UK?
Yeah, so my parents are both from Algeria. I didn't live there growing up, but I lived in a lot of different places. Like I was born in France, and then I lived in the US in a couple places, and then the Netherlands, and then I studied uni in the UK. I went to King's in London.
Wow. So how many languages do you speak then?
I mean, I speak English, French, I speak Spanish kind of,
Okay.
Dutch kind of, and my Arabic is improving.
Uh,
Yeah.
wow, multi-skilled woman.
That's what you got to do.
So obviously the reason we're here today is to talk about your documentary that you made in Sidama in Ethiopia. So that I'm gonna ask you a lot of questions. I have a lot of questions that I couldn't ask you on the day because it was so like busy and it was late. But firstly, my question is why coffee? Like where did this idea of let me make a documentary about Ethiopian coffee come from?
Okay, yeah. No, it's a long story. I mean, I was I just had this kind of latent uh, curiosity about coffee. And, I'm very interested in colonization and the colonial history of the African continent, just of the world in general. It's something that I'm really passionate about. And so it's super interesting that Ethiopia is, considered the one African country that wasn't properly colonized. And so because of that, I was just looking into it a lot. Like it kind of felt like a society that had a chance that a lot of other African societies didn't, like to preserve a lot of its cultural elements and, keep things like its calendar and their clock and, their script. A lot of things that, in Algeria, those are kind of coming back today, but they were lost for a long time. And, coffee, it's a drink that I've always loved. My family, we drink a lot of it. And also finding that it was originating from Ethiopia, I was looking at the cultivation methods, which are just still 90%, 95% is smallholder farming. It's mostly farms and washing stations use like very sustainable, just traditional methods. So a lot of it's organic, a lot of it's just um, still very much preserving like traditional methods of coffee making, which is different than, in South America, a lot of it, because it's not necessarily an endemic plant, a lot of it is like mass plantations. And this is one of the drinks that's most commonly drank in the whole world. So it's super important to understand where it's coming from and also, people who actually have had coffee for hundreds or thousands of years probably have a better understanding of how to make it in a way that makes sense for mass consumption. So, all of these separate little interests just drove me to really look at Ethiopia more closely. And my sister at the time, she was working with really closely with this one of her friends who is Ethiopian, and she was just telling me a lot about her work that she was doing. She was working for this NGO called TechnoServe, which they like basically loan um, equipment to washing stations, coffee producers in Ethiopia to just expand their business. So she was kind of like, why don't you, I'll just put you in touch with some people and you can come and just talk to people and figure out what kind of film you want to make. So I was like, okay. Um, so I basically did a location scout where I went to Oromia,
Mhm.
and I mean, it was so gorgeous and it was just really cool to learn a lot more about the coffee industry, things that are kind of hidden from us outside of there. We really don't see the farming side of things. We don't see actually like where this cup originates from, which I think is the most important thing. It's so easy to look at coffee packaging and you're looking at, oh, is this fair trade? Is this organic? You're looking at labels, but you have no idea what the hell those things even mean. And especially when you don't even know what the coffee plant looks like or who the people who are making it, what their typical day looks like. You just feel so far away and then it starts to really feel like a commodity. So I just wanted to kind of break that. And my original concept was to get intimate into the life of a coffee farmer or a family of coffee farmers to really understand where this where this bean originates.
Mhm.
But yeah, then eventually with COVID and all and the conflict in Tigray, there it was just a lot of things got shut down and I kind of thought this project was going to be postponed or maybe indefinitely. I was pretty bummed about it, but eventually when the borders opened up and stuff, this which I was still told by the people in Oromia not to come because of like security problems. But this coffee producer from Sidama found me on Instagram and he was like, come over, come to my farm, come shoot here. And he's this really cool young guy. And his coffee place called Helef Coffee. It's pretty
Okay.
they make really good coffee. They do always single origin. They have good relationships with the farmers and everything. So I went there. I went to Sidama with after raising all the funds with my partner, and it was just the two of us. And
It was
um,
just a movie that did the whole film.
yeah.
Now that is definitely impressive. I thought there was like I was gonna ask that how many of you was there? Like I thought you were gonna say a cameraman, a producer, director,
Oh
like
my God. Cameraman, producer, director.
wow, it was just a small film.
Yeah, the two of us did the whole movie. We edited it. Like we got a sound designer and a colorist, and we got musicians, music composers too. But the rest we just did ourselves.
Can
So
I just ask, like, how many films had you done before shooting this film?
zero.
So this was your first film?
Yes, I
Wow.
never. I mean,
So
unless you count like the guinea pig movie, it's just
I think that's like being in the movie. Like, this is my first movie. That is very, very impressive.
it was, he honestly he believed in me, but he was like, this girl's a little delusional.
Wow. And I know you went there for 4 months. So not only
Yeah.
was it your first film, you went out of the like your and you were living in Sidama for 4 months, which in a not like it wasn't quite a safe space at the time. You took all these risks, and this was your first film, and you produced something that was like, wow,
Oh,
that is very impressive, Celia.
wow, thank you.
Well, so the man on Instagram contacted you and said, we can work together. How did he know that you were interested, or did you know this man previously, or how did you know you were interested about this whole film?
Well, I had already made some posts
Ah,
for because we did some crowdfunding. So from the location scout, I had some content and I had already put up like the project I was working on, and he found it and he was like, "Come through." So it was super, super lucky, and he's just like a super cool guy. He let us stay at the washing stations the whole time, and just took care of us. And then so he introduced us to his
that's sweet.
family, and he was introducing us to all the farmers and stuff. And the protagonist from Amakki Dorite, she's
Yeah,
his aunt, and so it just was magic. It just all
yeah.
worked.
Everything fell into place.
Yes,
Yeah.
literally. Yeah, it
So
was really lucky.
before going to Ethiopia, like before doing your research, sorry, about Ethiopia, did you know about Ethiopia? Honestly speaking, obviously I know the north of Africa, but I don't know about Algeria specifically to know
Yeah.
like in depth of, Algeria, the culture, the history. So did you have any sort of idea? And what was like your expectations when you went to Ethiopia? Like, was it met or did it exceed?
Definitely exceeded. Definitely.
That's
I would say like the typical Algerian doesn't necessarily like know that much about Ethiopia. I think that's honestly a shame across the continent. People are not really
good.
able to travel that much to other African countries, like with all the visa shit and just cost of planes and stuff. And on top of that, yeah, there just isn't that much like cultural exchange. Um, which for sure is a product of colonialism. So I think my interest in just the world was instilled a lot by my parents. I'm really lucky. They're just super cool people, and they always showed us films and books from around the world, and like always took us traveling as much as possible. So I just you know, I I've just had the chance to kind of discover a lot of different regions in the world, and this was just one of those curiosities that I wanted to explore. Yeah.
What was like what were you worried about and what was your expectations about going to Ethiopia as a country?
Well, I was just worried about, being a foreigner with a camera
Mhm.
and all of the complications that that could create. And I was just worried about, people being uncomfortable, um, and obviously being able to just communicate things properly. But I mean, we were so warmly received. In Algeria, people are really scared of the camera. It's like It is so hard to make a movie there, like a documentary, but in Sidama, it's like everyone wanted to be in front of the camera. I had never seen that before. Everyone was like, film me, film me.
Oh,
It was really cool, and they just took such good care of us. I mean, one time, Chris Idris, that's the name of my husband slash DP,
okay.
his phone was actually stolen, like in the town. And everyone in the village where we were, they were like so upset that they offered to basically all chip in to get him a new phone.
Oh,
I was like, no, it's chill, don't worry about that. But they were just they felt so ashamed for that happening to us. Like we were 100% safe and in good hands. And we had an incredible translator. She like made the whole movie happen. Aiden, who Matilia had spoken about
okay. Yeah.
at the coffee ceremony thing, but she is from Bona,
Okay.
but she is from like the more town side of it. And so she knew even Dorite and her family. They had some familial connections, and she's Sidama's one of Sidama's cultural ambassadors. She's a TikTok star. She promotes Sidama culture. She knows everything there is to know about Sidama culture. She was teaching us every day. She was teaching us the language. Um, so again, super lucky to have found her. We literally found her at a restaurant.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, okay, okay. And saying about language, why did you? I know the title of the. If you want to say the title, why you named it that that.
Okay. Yeah, Amakki means your mother in Sidamo, and I just felt it was the perfect name. I mean, this film is really about motherhood and about kind of stretching the boundaries of what it means to be a mother. Like, I feel that through the four generations, we could see how Dorite mothers her children and grandchildren, but also Mita was like a mother to her cousin Tigu and to her mom Mulu and to her grandma. Like there was just, they were all taking care of each other and emotionally supporting each other and protecting each other. It was just really beautiful to see from the outside how motherhood is more of a spirit than actually the act of having children. And also Amakki is just, I think, the word I heard the most while being there. It's like what you say when someone's misbehaving to remind them. It's like, think about your mother, like Amaki or Amakiti, which is eat your mother. Yeah.
Eat your mother.
Yeah. Which Mita would say all the time. Like when someone pissed her off, it's just Amakiti, Amakiti. So it was really cute, sentimental, like funny. I just felt that it captured all of the feelings that I was trying to express with the film.
Okay, that's nice. With the family that you chose, when you went to shoot the movie, was that always the concept that you had in mind? Like you wanted to pick a family, you wanted to capture their journey and like the women and the four generations. Was that always in the plan, or did that just come about?
I think the woman focus just
Yeah.
came up and the four generations also came up. Cool. Yeah, like I said, my concept was always to shoot a family, but I envisioned more of a traditional family, like with a husband and wife and kids. But when I met Dorite and Mulu, I couldn't imagine that anymore. I was like,
Mhm.
this is such a cool family. They are really kind of ragtag. They were a lot different than the other families. You know, Dorite was just a woman who did kind of what she wanted, and she didn't really care that much about what people thought about her, while still being really a central pillar of the community.
Like you said, like I thought it was definitely different because I remember one of the ladies asking in the coffee ceremony, like the film screening that we had, like, is this a common thing in Ethiopia where the women, live together and they don't need a man to to live? But as you said, it's not very common, and that's what made it special, especially the fact that she was saying, I don't need my husband's support. I can financially look after myself.
Mhm.
I'm a very independent woman. And then the grandma's like, I don't want to go visit my husband. And they were very, it wasn't intended, but I think that's what made it unique because it's not a common thing to see in Ethiopia, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. No, exactly. I mean, I don't think it's that common in many places, and it's just really inspiring because I think personally, I think matriarchy is just a fact of life. I think that humans operate in a matriarchal way, but we just like are forced patriarchy every step of the way. Like we learn how to be people from our mothers. We learn our social skills, we learn our emotional skills. Like moms perpetuate culture, educate their kids on language. Even in a two language parent household, the mother's language is always the most likely to be carried on by the kids, like literally mother tongue.
Yeah.
And I think grandmas are yappers. They tell
Yeah.
stories. Grandpas are quietly brooding in the corner. They're not
They're not saying much.
yeah, they're not spreading knowledge, just vibes. But so I just really like to capture that. And I think it's also accidental in the sense that when I go, even with my new project, I go in wanting to include men and, observe men, but then I'm just so fascinated by women. I just can't help it.
But what did you think that you learned? Like spending dating 4 months is a very long time. So what do you feel like you've learned from it, or has it impacted your life? As say, living with those women, has it made an impact on the way you see things, maybe, or maybe the projects that you want to do in the future? Has it given you some like influence? So has it impacted you?
Yeah, it's definitely impacted me. I think it's impacted me in every way, creatively, emotionally, philosophically. I mean, Donite and Mulu and Mita and Tigu, they taught me a lot about motherhood, like I said, about, what it means to be a woman, about what culture means. They would always use the term of good culture and bad culture. And they would always talk about things in terms of that's whether it's a good or bad culture. And I just thought that's really really beautiful and important because a lot of the times we just take culture as this monolithic thing. And also oftentimes, especially in our country's culture, is like the subjugation of women is considered culture. It's like women providing services or free labor is just like a cultural item. But it's like coffee is culture. Like women making coffee isn't necessarily culture. Like men can make that too, and like men cooking, that also can happen. Like they cook in the restaurant but not at home type of thing. I think it's just really important for culture to constantly evolve and to be able to take all of the beautiful parts of it and let those grow and nurture them while learning how to cut all the weeds out. So that's definitely something I learned. It gave me a better perspective on my own family and my own mother and grandmother, and also on my own home country. Because when you're a foreigner, you have a much different perspective. You can
Yeah.
really see things from the outside. You put it in the context of what you know and what you understand from your culture. And in many ways, it can just, yeah, I think it can just teach you a lot about the things in your own culture that you take for granted or that I might not be filtering as good or bad.
Was there any like I remember you telling us about the man that was arguing about the cows eating on his land,
Yeah.
on his grass. Was there any particular point while filming that you struggled, like any struggles that you had that you'd like to mention?
There were definitely some struggles. Before finding Aiden, we had a different translator who was really sweet, but she did not speak English that well. And so, yeah. So we did not have, we were having difficulties and we were trying to explain the concept of our project, and we were struggling. And so then when we replaced her with Aiden, obviously people were really sad. People were super sad for her to leave. It was like just almost this like mass depression. Everyone was like, why would you fire her? Why would you get rid of her? Like, did she do something to you? We were like, oh my God, did we just commit a huge error. And then Aiden came in and she started talking to people and explaining to them our project. And one woman literally was like, "Oh, thank God you got rid of the other one."
It's just like people just don't like change.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
they
They
were
were comfortable
sad.
with that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. They got used to her. They like got really close to her. But that was an what is it called? A difficulty. There
Yeah.
was difficulties just figuring out all of the cultural nuances. Aiden was so clutch. We would go somewhere and people would offer us, coffee and food and stuff, and she would tell us the translation, like, "Oh, they're offering you coffee, but I don't think they actually want to give it to you. It's out of politeness." And then we'd be like, "Okay." She'd be like, "You should respectfully decline."
You should analyze the situation as well.
Yes, she was like, she's so emotionally intelligent. Like, that's why you need a woman as your translator. Or she would be like, "This person is, feeling slightly uncomfortable with the camera, so maybe you got to turn it off or like speak to them about it." And so we would really, she helped us navigate everything pretty much. There was also, obviously, Mulu was having conflict with her in laws,
Yeah.
which then meant that we low key had conflict with them. Not not like interpersonally, they were very respectful with us, but just in the sense that we were really supporting Mulu,
Mhm.
and we also helped her to kind of become more financially independent later to get her own restaurant and stuff. So that like ruffled some feathers, but it really wasn't dramatic in the end. Like I said, everyone is just super in that town. They're just very respectful and understanding. So I think it all was for the best in the end, but definitely there was some stressful moments. Yeah.
And the question we all want to know, was any of it scripted?
Actually, it wasn't. Yeah, actually. Um, it was honestly really, really beautiful how much the four of them opened themselves up for us. There were moments where, Dorite is kind of an actress. She would she would see us filming and she would kind of just like look wistfully out the window. So I would say you can't say that any part of the film is absolutely just pure observation. I think that's just that doesn't exist.
Mhm.
Whenever there's the camera, there's some level of performance, but I I really think that there was a level of comfort between us that allowed them to just kind of exist, and we were really lucky. And I think also we mostly chose footage that kind of happened later on when they were even more comfortable. So we didn't want to have anything kind of artificial.
Yeah, yeah. No, that definitely portrayed in the film. It felt so comfortable. Like there were some points where, like, she was breastfeeding a child, and like
Yeah.
everything just felt so like they were arguing. There was just like like conflicts and things like that. And I'm like, surely would they be having this conflict while the camera's running? But it genuinely shows how comfortable that you made them feel as well to
Oh.
just open up their home. And in terms of like the coffee, do you feel like I know you said you like coffee and it's something you've loved even before the film, but has it changed maybe the way you drink coffee, the value it holds for you? And like you said, in Ethiopia, coffee is not just a drink for us. It's a big part of our culture and our tradition. Um, it's not even just the drink itself, like the ceremony in itself. It holds like a big place in our heart. So has it changed the way you see coffee? Maybe do you now hold a little bit more value to it? Do you pick and choose what coffee you have?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, there's so many beautiful ways, cultural methods of making coffee just from around the world, and it's so cool to see kind of how that changes so much, how so many different people interpret this one plant. And I feel so warm every time I see a jabena like the one behind you. Yes, it's just, oh my gosh, so, so tasty. I am so like bummed because in my home right now I have an electric stove, which I
Mm.
can't use a jabena. So mine is just like catching dust. But no, I definitely feel that I have more appreciation for coffee. Like really love to look for single origin coffee. I've never been like a just let me just get a cup of coffee for energy, even if it's shitty type person. But I think now if I'm shopping for coffee, I'm gonna go for the beans that are probably the most ethical, i.e., like being single origin or something. And also, I think, like I said at the screening, I just take coffee less seriously too. Like the methods of cooking it is just not that deep. Like
Mhm.
there's so many methods to cook it. And as long as it tastes good and there's some good energy being put into that coffee while you cook it, then I'm happy about it. Yeah.
Is there a particular culture or tradition that you guys have in Algeria that's not similar? It doesn't have to be coffee, but something like coffee that we hold so dearly. Is there anything in Algeria specifically?
Definitely tea.
Tea, okay.
Yeah,
Tea drinkers.
big tea people, but specifically just the green tea. Yeah.
Ah,
Um,
it's a bit like Morocco as well. I think they
yeah,
have green tea.
exactly. Like in the north, it's green tea with mint and
Mhm.
it's super sweet. It's like dessert.
Yeah.
And then
I've
and then
had
in
it in
the
Algeria. Sorry, not Algeria, Morocco and Tunisia.
oh,
And the tea is very.
oh, it's good even sometimes with like orange blossom water.
Ah,
It's fire. It's really good. But like in Algeria, oh my God, everything we eat is so sweet. It's like we really have big sweet tooths. When I was in Sidama, the only sweet thing was honey, and
yeah.
I literally felt like I was gonna die sometimes because I didn't have enough sugar in my blood. It's like there was sugar cane though, and I was kind of a
Yeah.
fiend for sugar cane because that's how I could get my fix. But like in Algeria, in the desert, they make the tea differently. It's like super strong. You drink it in little shots. They
Okay.
just like boil the shit out of the leaves and then put a bunch of sugar in it, and it's super good. But it like basically just keeps you going all day long, all night.
Well,
Yeah.
we might have to try it if we come to Algeria.
Oh yeah, you gotta come see
No,
me.
it's
Yeah.
definitely now it's definitely on the list of countries to visit. When you stayed in Ethiopia, was like what is it just Sidama that you stayed for the 4 months? You didn't go anywhere else?
Yeah, we just stayed in Sidama. We basically didn't even leave Bona, like just a few times. Went to
Mhm.
Hawassa, Dilla, but pretty much we stayed in Bona and maybe went to like three other places.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you eat?
Oh my
What was it?
God. Like hella injera, hella lentils, shiro.
Are you not a meat? Do
Um,
you not eat meat?
We didn't eat meat at all, actually, because in Bona, people did not eat meat except for on Ghana.
Okay.
So, yeah, we just didn't. There wasn't any kind of refrigeration or anything either. And actually, on Ghana, when everyone ate meat, our translator and our cook both got worms. So
Mm,
we were like, I.
no.
It's okay though, because there's dewormers everywhere. So. But no, it was super good. We ate a bunch of cabbage, potatoes, like pretty much what you saw that Mulu was cooking. She made
Okay.
the best injera, like best
Okay.
injera I've ever had.
To be fair, the injera did look good in the
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
It did look good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like with black teff too.
Yeah.
Oof. And we had so much like eggs fur with
Okay.
avocado. Oh
Mm.
my God. The hot avocado you guys make like hot guacamole. That's good shit. Yeah.
Did you eat at her restaurant ever?
Yeah, yeah, we ate a cup. We would eat sometimes there, like for lunch. If we didn't go back, we would just eat there. So good. Just like I don't know what she's cooking with. It's something special.
What would you say some good things that you've picked up from Ethiopia? Like looking at the people, the country itself, what are like some positive things that you encountered or you took into perspective? And then what are some things that you thought, I don't really like this?
Yeah, I think the good things is just like in Algeria, there's really good hospitality, but I really felt in Bona it was just top notch hospitality. I mean, I've never felt more invited by people to their homes. It was just really beautiful, and also especially in Bona, people are just living very naturally, they have these like beautiful mud homes, and like it's the perfect temperature inside at all times. there's these beautiful wasa plants,
Yeah.
and it was just incredible to live in that environment. And um, it's like, for example, one time I asked why don't you grow bananas here? And they were like, bananas don't grow here. And I was like, you're so right. Listen to me. Like, I was like, I'm over here, like capitalism brain. Like, why don't you profit and grow some bananas? I'm like, if it doesn't grow here, you're so right. Like, why would you grow it here? That's literally how you go and destroy your soil, putting in like foreign plants. And there's just kind of symbiosis that there just isn't in cities or even just in other countries. So I definitely learned a lot from that. The things I didn't like. Well, actually, like this is kind of sad, but there is a lot of FGM, like a lot. I think definitely in Ethiopia, it's just statistically the highest rates. Lulu was telling me that if a woman isn't circumcised, that she's not going to be able to find a husband. So it's kind of like you're setting up your kids for failure to not circumcise them if they're gonna stay in that village. Like this is really, really horrible. Um, yeah, so that was something that was quite difficult to deal with. And obviously there was just generalized like violence against women, you know, some men beating their wives, which is just universal. And then, you know, there was um for example, a lot of marriages via abduction, which, yeah, that just sucked. So it was really special to be able to be in kind of this safe oasis of women where any woman could also come see Dorite if she was having issues or facing any kind of violence, and she could just stay there, and it was like a safe house, which was
Oh,
really beautiful. Yeah.
yeah. Would you ever go back to Ethiopia again?
Yes, I'm literally trying to go as soon as possible. I need to go back and go see my girls again.
Yeah.
So,
Do you still keep in touch now? Like, do you?
yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I Dorita doesn't have she doesn't use like a smartphone, so I have to communicate either through Aiden or through Sigab, the coffee producer.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm like me and Aiden are tight. So I'm definitely trying to go back. I was trying to go back this year, but I couldn't make it work with my schedule. So hopefully just as soon as possible.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd love to see. And have they watched the film, by the way?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh,
We went there before we released the film to show
okay. So,
them because we wanted to make sure also to have their permission and stuff, especially with a
yeah.
lot of intimate scenes being in the film. So we watched it all together. That was like the world premiere. And
What was the
and yeah.
feedback?
Oh, it was great. It was super cute. I mean, there was just they were laughing a lot. It was, you know, it's a home movie. It's memories from also Mita, you know, babies grow really fast. So it was memories from her being a little
No.
baby. And even the sad scenes and stuff, they were laughing. And we showed them all the bloopers too. It was
Oh,
just, yeah, it was good
no.
vibes. Mhm.
Will the film be out to the public? Like, will it be on YouTube? Because I know you guys did post the trailer. Would the film be out?
The film won't go on YouTube. Unfortunately, it's kind of like film death to go on YouTube. You get
Okay.
copyrighted kind of immediately. But it is available for streaming on a website called Nuku,
Okay.
Nukhu. And we're still doing some festival releases. Um, so yeah.
What's the one message or the one thing that you want people to take from watching this film?
You know, I had one woman at a screening ask me or tell me that she felt the film was about the submission of women. And I really don't feel that way. And I think
Mm.
something I really want people to take from this film is that this film is about badass women. This film is about matriarchy. This film, I think people need to give a lot more respect to their mothers and grandmothers because it's like despite everything that society puts against us, we're out here serving, you know? And like our moms and grandmas went through even more than us, and we carry that with us. And it's like I just think this spirit of matriarchy carries a lot of resilience. Like Mulu and Dorite, despite all of the obstacles that they face, like you can see in the film, they still just do what they want. They live their lives. They're an inspiration to me, to so many people. And at the end of the day, that's what I want. That's what the film is about for me.
Yeah, I just want to say like really, really thank you so much for like making this film. Um, I think now that you've told me that it's your first film, it even makes it more special to me. That
Oh.
your first film was about Ethiopia's coffee and about these women, the four generations of women. And I think as Ethiopians, we don't really scream and shout and talk about our culture and our history. And I don't know, we are very proud people, but it stays within our country. We're not the type of people to go out there and tell the world, you know, who we are. Uh, Personally, at work, they are sick and tired of me talking about they are sick and tired
Good.
of me.
Yeah, good.
But it's just like it really saddens me to see that Ethiopia has so much history,
Yeah.
culture, and just the fact that it's not being colonized in itself should
Hmm.
be like when we talk about Black History Month, that's not even mentioned. And you would
Yeah,
think
yeah,
out of all the things that would
definitely.
be the first thing to be on the list. That
Hmm.
when all these countries got colonized, not just Africa but other continents as well, Europe,
Yeah,
America, Australia, we
yeah,
as Africans defeated.
yeah,
I think sometimes it is important. It is important to showcase your culture and
yeah.
your tradition, your history, and even like same like you said with Algeria and other African countries as well. We don't like mingle and we don't share. And I think we do need to have this like exchange of knowledge. But so in a place that a lot of people don't know Ethiopia and they don't know anything about Ethiopia, the fact that you've chosen your first film to be in Ethiopia about the coffee, that honestly I do thank you. And really I love the fact that everything was just so authentic and it genuinely felt like I was watching home. Even the cussing, the
Yeah.
cussing, like how that is how we were all raised.
Just African parenting.
That's
Like,
just
yeah.
that's just the parenting. And even when like they got the dress for her and she was putting it on and they're like, you're literally half naked, like because
Yeah.
what kind of dress is this? And that's honestly the kind of conversations that goes on in our household. And I love
Yeah.
that it was just so real. No, it was us.
Oh,
And I really, really liked that. So thank you so much, Celia. And
that's
we just
like
honestly can't wait to see your next project.
this is the greatest compliment possible. Like genuinely, that's I think that's the biggest fear. You make a film as a foreigner, you're like, OMG, are Ethiopians gonna like this movie?
Yeah.
So thank you
Well,
so
for
much.
me, it got the approval, and I'm so happy. And honestly, I really thank you for it. Definitely, I can't wait to see your next project. And if I do come to Algeria, then
You gotta hit me up.
I'm gonna pick you up. We
I'm
need
gonna
to do
take you
that.
out, give you some good tea. Yeah.
But and I know you're screening your film in different places. Where has it been screened so far? So I know, obviously, I watched it in Leeds, but what cities have you
In the
screened?
UK.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
like the UK.
Yeah, we did in the UK, we did Leeds, Birmingham, Oxford, Oswestry, we did Dublin in Ireland, London this weekend. I mean, it's been really great. Like we've been able to screen in the US, Canada, in Burkina Faso, in Zimbabwe, Morocco. So I'm super happy. Yeah.
You've literally made a hit. Now
Oh,
I have to keep it up.
yeah, I put the standard up,
You
so
put the standards high, and now we can't. We
yeah.
can't. We
I
don't
can't
want to
disappoint
less.
you for the next one. Yeah.
But thank you so much. And is there anything that you'd like to say, maybe about the film, or maybe you want people to a message, whatever you want to say?
Just go out and visit Africans, visit your neighboring African countries, go spend time there, get rid of whatever preconceptions you have because our continent is beautiful, the world is beautiful. There is literally so much to learn, like an infinite amount of knowledge.
Literally.
And that's just if you can, as much as possible. Yeah.
Travel the world as much as possible.
Yes. And learn about history,
Yeah.
learn colonial history. It's like you said about Ethiopia not being colonized. I think there's only like 7 non-European countries that have never been colonized. like genuinely. So y'all are special.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Meanwhile, Algeria has been colonized like 10 times. It's insane. So, like opposites.
Well, I'm sure Algeria has a lot of culture and a lot of tradition that, like you said,
Yes,
is starting to come back and everything's starting to, like revive again. So we're
exactly.
thankful for that as well, because imagine if it had been lost forever. Definitely,
Yes.
I do promise on this video that I will come and visit Algeria. Like that's a
Woo!
promise. Um, so I'll obviously message you and see where the place best
Yes.
city to come to, and
Oh,
well,
to me. You'll come to me. Yeah.
thank you so much, Celia. That's all
Okay.
my questions.
Yes. Thank you so much for inviting me. This was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.